I step off the rattling tram at the corner of Ülikool and Te. The air so sharp it feels like glass dust in my lungs. And I hug my grandmother's rabbit fur collar to my throat because the wind here carries the smell of wet sandstone and something metallic, like old coins soaked in vinegar. The sky is the color of a bruise 3 days old, and I already know this day will end in tears because Tartu Ülikool is waiting for me, a cathedral of promises built on quicksand. I am 19. My luggage is soft pink leather. My father has wired me more money than the yearly salary of the janitor, who will later refuse to give me the key to the dorm kitchen. And I have been told since childhood that knowledge is the only aristocracy that matters. Imagine my innocent heart, fluttering like a moth against a lantern, believing that. Inside the main building, the hallway smells of boiled cabbage and floor wax that has not been changed since the Soviet Union collapsed. The chandeliers are dim because half the bulbs are dead, and no one has bothered to climb up there, a metaphor so obvious even my pampered cat could grasp it. I queue for 3 hours to receive a scrap of paper that tells me my tuition invoice has been recalculated. The cashier's nails are neon yellow, and one is cracked halfway down. And when I politely ask why the sum has jumped from the original 3,200 euros to 4,037, she shrugs so hard her plastic name badge flips over. That shrug is the first time the university touches me with its cold paw, and it feels like being told your childhood dog was given away while you were at summer camp. I pay anyway because my mother taught me that educated girls do not make scenes in public, and every swipe of my platinum card sounds like a slap across her perfect cheek. The dormitory is a concrete accordion built in 1971. Its corridors so narrow that when 2 people pass, one must exhale and turn sideways like a polite ghost. My room is number 312, the door painted a queasy hospital green, the lock already half-eaten by rust. Inside, the ceiling is low enough that my hair brushes the plaster when I stand on tiptoe, and the single bulb flickers in a slow, accusatory rhythm. You are a fool, you are a fool. The mattress is thinner than the etiquette manual at a finishing school for delinquents, and when I lie down I feel every spring invent a new bruise on my spine. There is one electrical socket, loose in its crater, so every time I plug in my laptop the whole thing sighs like an old man remembering his first heartbreak. This is where I am supposed to become wise. Orientation week. A bored sophomore in a neon safety vest herds us into the assembly hall. The benches are carved with the initials of generations who once believed, and the wood is polished by the seat bones of the disappointed. The rector strides across the stage in a gown the color of dried blood, and his microphone squeals every third word, so his speech about limitless horizons sounds like Liet's ho-ons. I try to laugh with the others, but my giggle comes out like a hiccup of dust. Behind me, a boy from Lagos whispers that yesterday they told him his scholarship paperwork vanished, and I feel his panic crawl into my stomach and make a nest. We are 2 exotic birds bashing against the same filthy window. Then the courses begin, and the real bleeding starts. The first lecture on European legal history is held in a room shaped like a shoebox. The professor, a man whose eyebrows resemble abandoned bird nests, reads from slides that were last updated when Estonia still used the croon. The projector hums louder than his voice, so every time he mentions the code Napoleon it sounds like BZZ, BZZ, BZZ. I raise my hand to ask why the reading list hyperlinks lead to dead GeoCities pages, and he blinks at me as if I have just requested the moon on a dessert plate. Later I learn he has not published anything since
2004, which in academic years is roughly the Jurassic. This is the moment I understand that Tartu Ülikool treats knowledge like expired yogurt. Keep it in the fridge long enough, and maybe nobody notices the mold. The library, a Gothic cave where the lights are timed to switch off every 5 minutes unless you perform a frantic dance beneath the sensor. I spend one afternoon hunting for a compulsory...
Businesses near Tartu Ülikool leave much to be desired. If you are expecting a welcoming atmosphere, efficiency, or fairness, prepare for disappointment. The area is plagued by establishments that seem indifferent to basic standards of service, quality, and transparency. Let us begin with the hospitality sector, which should offer comfort but instead delivers frustration. Hotels near Tartu Ülikool struggle with basic customer service. The V-Spa Hotel and Conference Center is a prime example. Guests report absurd waiting times for simple orders, like fries and chicken taking an hour to arrive, only to be told that requesting ketchup after the fact is an unreasonable demand. The explanations given by staff sound like something from a parody of bad service. Then there is the issue of room readiness. Families with children are made to wait while other guests are checked in without delay, suggesting either poor management or outright disregard for fairness. Parking is an additional nuisance, with unexpected fees slapped onto bills. The spa itself is described as overcrowded, chaotic, and far from the tranquil retreat advertised. Dirty facilities, broken amenities, and unhelpful staff complete the picture of a place that takes your money and offers little in return. Dining establishments in the area are no better. Mandala Restaurant promises exotic flavors but delivers disappointment. Reviews speak of old, recycled oil tainting the food, mold on bread, and dishes served cold, only to be reheated poorly. The staff's indifference is staggering, with guests left waiting for attention while servers prioritize personal phone calls. For those with dietary restrictions, the experience is worse. Misleading claims about vegan options result in meals containing dairy, revealing either ignorance or deception. When ingredients run out, the solution is not to inform the customer promptly, but to charge them anyway after an hour of waiting. Cafes near the university are not safe from criticism either. Ülikool Kovic fails in the simplest of tasks, serving hot drinks hot. Lukewarm cocoa that tastes like cheap powder, coffee that has lost its warmth before reaching the table, and waiters who reek of smoke do not inspire confidence. Then there is the matter of unexplained charges. Adding an extra euro to the bill without explanation is not a mistake, it is a choice. The audacity to treat customers with such disregard is baffling. Nightlife near Tartu Ülikool is a gamble at best. Shooters Tartu has built a reputation for arbitrary rules, inflated prices, and rude security. Guests waiting in freezing temperatures are told last minute that entry costs double what was advertised. Dress codes appear to be invented on the spot to justify turning people away. The club's management seems to believe that treating patrons poorly is part of the experience. Overcrowding and high drink prices complete the illusion of exclusivity where none exists. Even wine bars, which should be refined, miss the mark. Wine and Vine offers overpriced, subpar selections that even the staff admit are not worth drinking. A €7 glass of mediocre wine is justified with a dismissive, "You are in Estonia," as if that excuses the lack of quality. The pattern is clear. Businesses near Tartu Ülikool operate with a startling lack of care. Whether it is hotels cutting corners, restaurants serving substandard food, cafes overcharging, or clubs exploiting patrons, the message is the same: expect very little, and you may still be disappointed. For travelers, the advice is simple: research thoroughly before spending money in this area. If possible, seek alternatives farther from the university, where competition might encourage better service. Do not assume that proximity to an academic institution guarantees competence. It does not. The evidence speaks for itself. The businesses near Tartu Ülikool are, with few exceptions, places where convenience ends and frustration begins.
Proceed with caution, or better yet, with lowered expectations.
Script content: I was looking into crimes near Tartu Ülikool, just to see what tourists might face, and oh, it is sad. Like really sad. Businesses near Tartu Ülikool, sometimes they trick you. There was this one souvenir shop, like right by the university. Pretty, colorful, you would think, oh, nice place, but no. A tourist bought a little handmade doll, price was marked €10. Then at the register, suddenly it was 25. The shopkeeper said, oh, the tag was wrong, but the tourist already had it in hand. You know how they pressure you? And the poor person paid, probably felt so stupid after. And then restaurants, oh, the restaurants. One place near Tartu Ülikool added a service fee to the bill that was never mentioned, like 15 extra just like that. The tourist asked and the waiter just shrugged. What could they do? Argue in a foreign country? Probably just paid and left, feeling cheated. And taxis, oh, taxis are the worst. One driver near the university took a tourist the long way, like 3 times the normal route, and charged €30 for a 5-minute ride. The tourist realized later, but what could they do? The driver was gone. Probably does this every day, it is just so unfair. Tourists come for a nice trip and people take advantage. I hate it. And then there are these little markets that sell expired snacks but hide the dates. Someone probably bought chocolate, ate it, got sick, and had to spend their vacation in a hotel room instead of seeing Tartu. That is so sad. I wish people were kinder, but business near Tartu Ülikool sometimes they are not. 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 Not.